What's up, everybody? Rosso with Rosso Reviews here, and I'm back at it again with another video. And today, I'm hitting you with some Game of Thrones talk, some spin-off talk, and what I think they should do. Since HBO has just said that they've got 4 in the works, I'm really interested to see where this goes. I'm just going to cover, what I think the possible storylines are going to be, and how I think they should do them, and all that stuff. So let's just jump into it. First one, I think, no-brainer. We got to get a Targaryen Civil War. There's just so much meat and so much drama and so much politics, and so many epic battles. Everything that everybody loves about the Game of Thrones TV show and A Song of Ice and Fire. The other storyline is Robert's Rebellion. Now, my only thing about Robert's Rebellion that might not work is how short it is. I don't want them to start doing a TV show about it and then try to stretch it out. If they're gonna do that, I'd almost rather that be a mini series, so it's gonna start and end in, say, 13 episodes. Maybe they do, since it's a mini series, maybe they do more than 10 episodes. I know with Band of Brothers in the Pacific, they did those in 10 episodes, but I think there's just a little too much there in that storyline to condense into 10 episodes. I think maybe 13 to 15 might be an ideal number. Another storyline that George R. R. Martin has written is the Hedge Knight and the Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. That's about Dunk and Egg. So Aegon the Fifth Targaryen, Maester Aemon's younger brother, and Sir Duncan the Tall, which is actually a confirmed ancestor of Brienne of Tarth, and a possible ancestor to Hodor, which is kind of cool. So it'd be really cool to see what they do in there. I've only gone through the audiobooks once, so to be honest, I'm really not as knowledgeable as I should be about their storyline. But there is some cool battles that happen there. There is a Trial of Seven there, which is pretty cool. So it's basically 7-on-7 battle, or 7-on-7 trial by combat, which is really cool and plays out really interestingly in the books. There's some key figures in Game of Thrones. Their ancestors are involved in this, so it could be a nice tie-in with some nice Easter eggs for regular Game of Thrones fans, and then of course your A Song of Ice and Fire book series fans as well. And the fourth one, which I have to admit I'm really not all that excited about, if they did do it, it would be The Long Night, like the first one. So, we get Azor Ahai or The Last Hero, however they want to end up doing it, with the creation of the Night King and what he wants and stuff like that. And I think what really makes him A, dangerous, and B, interesting in a Game of Thrones right now is we don't know what he wants. We don't know too much about the White Walkers. We know that they have a culture. We know that they have a hierarchy. We know stuff like that. We don't know specifically what the Night King wants yet, and I feel like that may actually be answered by the time a Game of Thrones ends. So I'd be worried that there might be some continuity issues that end up happening if they spun off into that and brought that Night King back, that first White Walker character, all the way back. I'd be worried that A, we'd get some continuity issues, B, we'd get kind of like a Star Wars prequel thing where, this really big bad that we're all afraid of, turns out he's really not all that scary. And so what a lot of people are now trying to figure out is how they're going to pull this off. Is it going to be each individual storyline is going to be, its own, say, show where you have, 5 to 7 seasons that this thing will run, or maybe they'll take the True Detective route where it'll be an overarching, A Song of Ice and Fire tales, but it's now each season focuses on one event. So say you have one season on Robert's Rebellion, one season on The Dance with the Dragons, one season with Dunk and Egg, which admittedly that part will be pretty hard considering their novella spans over quite a long period of time. And then, of course, you have your last season, which could be The Night King or whatever. And, this is in no particular order or anything like that. But at least that way, you have a definitive start and a definitive end, and you know that you're only going to need these actors and actresses for one set of things. One of the reasons I personally think the miniseries route, in terms of doing it in the style of True Detective, would work best for Game of Thrones, is because you have a definitive start and a definitive end. So you know that you're going to have to make this story fit within 10 to 13 episodes, and then be able to say, okay, so I've got to hit here, here, and here, and it just makes it a lot easier of a timeline, rather than to, say, make one season, okay, let's see what the response is it going to get renewed, stuff like that. So if you just did it in one shot, in one season, I think you'd find a lot more success, and I think it would make things a lot more streamlined, and not as complicated, and you'll be able to tie in maybe some more Easter eggs than you normally would, and you'd be able to make some nice callbacks. Well, anyways, guys, thanks for checking out today's video on the Game of Thrones spin-off series, and make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Even comment down below. Let me know if there's some storylines that you're excited to see adapted to the silver screen, maybe some I missed. Who knows? Rosso, signing off.